All right, happy Tuesday. Back out in the shop. Back out in the garage. We're going to try to make some headway on getting the old Jetstar 3 more better together. I still didn't. Kind of want to put the heads on, but I haven't scrounged up the manual to find out what order the studs go in. But we will at least get nuts and bolts cleaned up. Side covers on there somewhere, right there. Maybe try and get the side cover on tonight. At least get that part of it sealed up, and then we'll see where we go from there. So anyway, I'm gonna get my stuff together, and yeah, I'll be back. All right, starting in on the side cover. I put a very, very thin layer of Permatex Ultra Gray gasket maker on there. And then I'll put the cork gasket on and give that a real thin, very, very thin layer of Ultra Gray. Get in there. I was going to put you on the tripod, but nobody wants to play along. So anywho, so let's take the little gasket right here. Layer on there. Hopefully try and stand right in front of the camera so you can't see what I'm doing. Get the holes closely lined up. There we go. And when I normally do this, I just squeeze a little out on my fingertip and just drag it over and then paint it on. Like I say, this is probably overkill with a new gasket, but I really don't want to have to go back into this thing because it's leaking again. Which was one of the main issues we were having with it. Well, that, in fact, the governor was worn out and wouldn't govern anything. So, anyway, just very, very thin layer of Ultra Gray all the way around. Especially around the bulbs. That's the thing. It's fine. It'll be fine. Just trust me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm an unpaid amateur. So anyway, you kind of get the idea. That's what we're doing here. Spreading her out thin. Probably overkill, like I said, but when I get it back together, I don't want it to leak. So. See what I'm doing? Got big hands. Probably can't see a thing I'm doing. I can move my hand out of the way. I'm wiping this and spread it just about as far as it'll go. And still have a layer of there. Very technical process here. Rubbing your finger on the cork. You think this is a technical process? You need to go back to the dictionary. Anyway. Processing last night's video, cleaning, moving stuff around. I'm not sure where my gasket maker tube squeezer thing is at. Really cool tool, thanks to recommended by a guy His website's www.flycorvair. He spent close to 30 years developing conversion methods to take GM's air-cooled 6-cylinder Corvair engine and turn it into an airworthy aircraft engine for experimentals. Probably mentioned that before. You know, it's kind of one of his techniques, and that squeezer tool is something that he's had in one of his videos. I'm like, oh, where'd you get that at? That's awesome. And so it is. So I ordered one for me, or asked for Christmas or something. I don't know. Anyway, all right. That's all goobered up nice. One of these. All right. See if this thing is good. Yep. All right. That cat freaking plates warped or something. I don't know. We'll get bolts and stuff on it and stuff. Get her snug down. Snug down enough to kind of seat the gasket in the gasket material, gasket maker, form of gasket stuff. And then, yeah, I'll be back. Alright, and then a little side cover. I had to, same technique, buttered the cover and then buttered the gasket, unbuttered that up. Right over here. That. No, I'm not gonna. I don't feel like digging out the ratchet. Just pull down close with that. Or not. This is a lock washer. Let that happen. Just till it touches. Then we go to the auction. Go to the auction score wrenches. That's where we hear the final squeeze. This is actually double squeezing because I got to squeeze this plate and gasket to this and this to the crankcase at the same time. We're going to spud this feed out. Already going around this one. More nice and gentle. Just like that. I do need to take a rag and go around. Like this down a little bit. I end up put a paint on all this. Afterwards, well done. Just because my side plate got scratched up, bounced around for a while. None of it. Got some holes painted. And we're not going for showroom original, or even close to original. Or better than that, we'll just try to hit the highlights. Alright, so that's got the side cover on. I'll put the old ultra gray away. The next gaskets we put on once I figure out which studs go where. Next gaskets will be head gaskets. And we'll use the copper coat gasket compound, give it a this plastic oil pressure line is going to go away, and we'll be putting a copper line in there. I may just go ahead and keep my hands up a bit. But anyway, get that off out of the way now. We'll probably route that up and over out of the way. Some of these would have to come back off because there's these clips that go in here that hold yes. Now you can see that. Can you see that? No, you can't see nothing. There they are. These steering lines run along the side of the engine, and well, don't fall down now. We got these clips that hold those in place. So some of those I have come back off. Anyway, and I think maybe even some of them are small enough. This curve, that might actually be to hold the oil pressure line. I don't know. I may have to go inside, look at the book, figure out what's going on. Hey, look what we're doing here. So anyway, that's where we're at for now. We shall. I think I'm going to go clean my hands up and find my manual so I can figure out where those studs go. So what do you think about getting those put back in? And then I'll have to find the metal pipe that goes between to where the heads. I'll find that. Find the O-rings. Probably over in a box of gaskets. And then maybe we get the heads on tonight. I don't know. We'll see. I'll be back. All right. I figured out where the studs went. I actually put the heads on the blocks and then put the spacer plate on the heads and figured out how it all went, so it all worked out. It's probably, I'll probably wrap this video up with this one, but so I've got the spacer primed ready for some paint. Neighbor's home on these Harley. Backside of the water pump and stuff, I'm gonna wire wheel that up, clean that up. Get the heads prepped. I got my pipe that goes between them with the O-rings. I've got the Molly Coat O-ring prep stuff. I got head gaskets hanging. I got my copper coat gasket ready to go. So probably after I wrap this up, I will spray those down both sides, Molly Coat those. Well, yeah. Molly Coat the O-rings, get them where they belong. Try to get the head set up. Well, no. Yeah, I should. By the time I spray those, maybe paint that, Molly Coat that, and slide those together. That stuff has to sit for a couple minutes to get tacky. 1 to 2 minutes. Hot as it freaking is, it probably take about. Be tacky when I spray them anyway. Get those good and tacky before I put those on. We'll get that that tube and get those slid together. And I think, and I'd probably grab it, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe possibly or bear hug it or something. Pick it up, get it down over the. Hopefully, get it down over the studs, and we'll just set it down on there and let her sit. Because that won't be ready to go on to be able to, put head nuts on to torque it down, but at least get it on there. So that's where we're at. 7th of July. We're going to spray some gaskets, maybe spray some paint, definitely get a tube in, and yeah, that's probably, unless I bring you back to say I got it done, or I'll bring, you know what, I'll just bring you back tomorrow and say, hey, I got it done, because I may not get it done tonight. So anyway, I'll be back. Alright, kind of cheated, wasn't quite done. Heads are almost on. Heads are on. Alright, I'll be back.